What happens when lies get louder than lifestyle? When warning signs become impossible to ignore? And when the past shows up with receipts that no one was ready for? To answer this and many more questions, allow me to take us back to the beginning. Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. It's time to fling someone else's caution to the wind as we open a fresh new season of Love During Lockup. On today's show, it's not called the Mess Express for nothing.
Choo choo, let's go.
We expose the lies that Slow-Mo tells to make herself more credible.
I work as a content creator and wig influencer.
We get a tour of Emily's new place.
Can't wait to see if I get any deposits.
I know, right?
And we meet the third woman in this season's throuple.
I can't wait to call home.
All this and more right here on the Lawd Lukan channel.
3 husbands, 4 kids, possibly 4 baby daddies. I don't really know.
Salutations, après-midi and konbanwa to you. Big loves to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people. And a seat at the captain's table for the lords and ladies of the Lukan Manor. The moment has arrived, mon petit pois, where we take off on another super duper journey of love, relationships, and more dumpster fires than you can shake your granny at. We've got 8 episodes of Love During Lockup together, and I have a feeling it's gonna be an interesting one. Now, I've already covered the first couple of segments in my last video. Click the little boxy thing, hopefully that'll appear up there. We had Emily doing her weird walk, which reminds me of being a teenager and trying not to look pissed when you get home. And we had Gigi, aka Goddess, and her interesting mother.
Turn around and bend over. That's what he want to see.
So, let's see what else happened in this episode, shall we? Grab a glass of something suitably suitable, launch yourself bum first into the comfiest structure available, put the man up and snuggle up with the cat, because it's time to find out what all the fuss is about this week. Now we're kicking off with a Monique segment. And before you drop the video and run, which, most people do, check out this graph. This is people leaving during the last Monique segment, and this is a normal segment. Still, that's steeper than Monique's learning curve when it comes to dating inmates. So, before you stop, drop, and roll to another video, you can check out the chapters below to peruse the other delights that I have for you this evening. So, let's head on over to Cincinnati, Ohio. And if we stick together, it might be slightly less painful. And we get this shot again.
But I lied.
I wish they'd left the light off personally. I really don't like this woman. Attention-seeking control freak. And it's especially annoying when she says,
I'm back, bitches.
Slow-Mo, everybody's favourite, least favourite character. Why did they bring her back? In the last video, I said that Emily was probably the most annoying person this season. But I'm starting to have second thoughts after having this one on the screen for a few minutes. Okay, well, let's get this over with, shall we? Yay, it's a Titus and Slow-Mo segment. Yeah, great. It seems like she's forgotten to put some trousers on too. Gross. I also hated when she puts all the blame on Dirty Derek from her last season.
Ready to make love something?
Yes.
Now, it's true Dirty D was a naughty little sausage. He swung his club more times than Tiger Woods. But she was also seeing other men and sleeping with her married man when he was inside.
I was out dating, still dealing with my ex, and Derek used to kind of get upset about it.
But always seems to kind of, conveniently forget about that. As far as I said, there was never a good guy or girl in their story. And check out this super awkward exchange from an interview with Way Up.
Going out with your friends.
Dropped her hand a bit quick there. Plus, she did kind of totally catfish him too. So you have to ask if he would have been so active with the other ladies if she was what he expected her to be. She looks like she smuggled Steve Wilkos and Dwayne Johnson into the studio. But anyway, we all know how it ended with Dirty Derek.
If you leave her, you might as well not even come back.
Cool, see you later, Mo. And now, Slow-Mo's a changed woman, apparently. Not exactly sure how, aside from the fact, she keeps telling us. But she's also been on a weight loss journey, a journey that kind of took her all the way to the pharmacy. But shh, it's nothing to do with the Ozempic injections.
And now I'm taking my Ozempic injection. I'm on 0.5 milligrams.
Now I'm just taking the piss, of course. I don't care what size she is. But I do think it's fair game when someone says they're putting in the grinds when they're blatantly not. Check out this clip where she goes to the fitness club. I've never been there before in her life. First of all, she's got this pristine yoga mat. Expecting a nice casual bit of stretching, perhaps. Nope, it's a full-on fling your wing Zumba session. Plus, nobody says like, hey Mo, good to see you again. And the whole time she's got her phone tucked in nature's handbag, the upper body cargo bay, her booby basket. But she's got purpose this season because...
But then I met Titus.
Ah, Titus, yes. In case you weren't aware, Titus Walton. He's the one who held up the pizza restaurant with a shotgun. In fact, it was this place, Giorgio's Pizza, where he and a friend, John Hugley III, robbed the 3 customers in the tills for $400, then fled in this high-quality escape vehicle, driven by this man, Charles Farrow III. Then they were in a police chase and managed to make it a whole 20 miles until this genius turned into a cul-de-sac where he and John were arrested and Titus got away. And where he went wasn't really too much of a mystery, seeing as he lives about 1.5 miles from where it was. But it actually looks like quite a nice neighbourhood, really. But they got him a little while later, and here he is in court, pleading his case before he got 15 years. Poor old Giorgio's Pizza, though. It does seem to have an oddly consistent spate of robberies. Titus robbed it in February 2012, and it also got robbed in March 2015. Then again in the following year in February by this guy, then again in January 2020. Blimey, you wouldn't want to work there in the beginning of the year, would you? You'd sort of go and work in the prison. It's much safer. So how does Slow-Mo try and play it all down?
Ohio is different because they will add kidnapping on for everything. And you get a kidnapping charge if you hold somebody against their will.
which is, it's kind of what kidnapping is. But yeah, weird Ohio and their stupid kidnapping stuff. It's like if you burn down a building, they'll charge you with arson and stuff. I mean, weird.
Say if I was to close this door and say, ain't nobody leave, well, that is kidnapping.
Kidnapping, it's always hilarious. But I'm not sure if that's a nervous laugh or an I've been stupid kind of laugh. But it really does show how naive she is and how impressed she is with herself. She laughs it all off like it's nothing, which kind of tells you how much of a sheltered life she's had, and that she's probably never been a victim of any kind of crime.
But it was a robbery, like, hello.
We've seen her flapping about, trying to be tough in the past, but she's 100% as green as she is cabbage looking. And while we're here, let's just explode another one of her lies, shall we? Courtesy of Titus.
Monique and I met about 8 months ago. I signed up for a dating site. And then one day, she was on there.
Now, that's not what she said on a live stream the other week, where she said his crimes were nothing crazy. She said she met him on Facebook. But that's not what our Titus just said.
So fit, so fine, 6'3", like, I know he could handle a woman like me.
Did you notice how she was hiding her face there? The phone was a standard sort of slow-mo 2 inches from the face. Then she was clearly hiding behind her hair. And seeing as they've never actually met while he's been in prison, it makes you wonder if she's catfishing like she did with Dirty D. But then she gets a very important phone call.
Hey.
Hi Slow-Mo, it's Lawd Lukan. I make videos for the YouTubes. I just thought I'd give you a quick call about this season. How's it going?
Good, I just got done.
What?
Good, I just got done.
Ah, yes, yeah, to you too, yes. So I just wanted to let you know that you're truly awful and you're a total view killer for my videos.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, yeah, it's a total nightmare. I wonder if you just wouldn't mind, not being in it so much.
I said, yeah.
Great, yes, that'd be lovely. Also consonants, I don't suppose you'd use some, could you? I'm just getting vowels on my end.
Why are you looking like that?
Yeah, no idea what you said there. Totally, we can see the edge on the wig there. I thought you were good at those bits.
You see?
No, I said bits, not tits. Please, I really don't need to see them. You can keep those bad girls undercover, thank you.
You want to see something?
As long as it's you ending the phone call, then yeah, well, go for it.
Time to go.
No, don't leave me in here. Help, I need an adult. So, what does a slow-mo actually do all day? Well, to tackle that subject and the next lie that we expose, we need to check out a thing that she said earlier in the episode. Now, I've gone and bought a bullshit meter. It sounds a little alarm every time I hear some bullshit. Now, I hope it won't go off in this next clip that we've got.
I work as a content creator and wig influencer.
Now, I believe the second thing she said, that she was a wig influencer. Influence a few wigs, but for who? I've never actually seen her on any wig-related sites. So that's a bunch of rubbish. And what about that content creator title? She's got some healthy views on the Facebooks, but does she make any money? Well, the Facebooks only pay you if you're part of their monetization program. And here's a few ways to check if somebody's part of it. Do they have ads on their roles? No, I don't mean those roles. I mean these roles. No. Do they have a send stars button? Facebook's way of rewarding your favorite creator? Nope. Does it say subscribe or become a supporter anywhere on the page? Nope. And do any of her posts say paid promotion with? Because of course that the FTC can fine you up to $50,000 for not disclosing material connection. Nope. Bless you. So, if none of those things are in place, then yeah, I'm sure she's earning loads of money. I didn't set the sarcasm filter.
I can do that anywhere. So I sign my leads.
Absolutely, she can earn no money wherever she likes. But we can already see signs of this relationship. Damn it, I forgot to turn it off again. As I was saying, we can already see this relationship isn't what she makes it out to be.
I said, yeah, are you excited to come home to me? Titus, I ain't finna play with you.
You know, she spent ages telling her audience how she can't wait to show the world how in love they are and how much things have changed. But, from where I'm sitting, the only difference between this inmate and the previous one is that Titus doesn't pick his clothes from Gap Kids. Next, we're off to Phoenix, Arizona to check in with Kayleigh and Michael's story. She's the one who's blown $42K on her man and maxed out all his credit cards. And he's the one who was her childhood sweetheart, married her while he was in prison. And what's he in for? Well, just a little bit of possession of a firearm, conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs for sale, misconduct involving firearms, possession or use of drug paraphernalia, and aggravated assault. A little bit of a crime cocktail there. But what does it all mean? Well, I think it all starts with the aggravated assault. Seeing as it's kind of hard to find someone in possession of stuff and then find a bunch of assault tucked down the back of the seat. So here's my totally unofficial version of what I think happened. So I do believe he started in New Jersey, where he's from, and decided to...
I moved to Arizona, and you know what they say, come on vacation, leave on probation.
Which is inmate for knock a couple of bits out across the state line. Then while he was there, he managed to get into it with someone, which I'm guessing led to the arrest. Then when they searched him, they found the meth that he was carrying and decided to do a little more research. Now, possession with intent could be a couple of grams or it could be a few kilos. But seeing as the Arizona media didn't pick it up, and they usually do, we can assume it wasn't all that much. Also, it could have just been some baggies or some scales. Then they may have found the firearm. The misconduct part often refers to a stolen firearm or one that has the serial number scraped off. I then imagine that they seized his phone while he was under arrest and had a little looky through and saw text messages which may have suggested that he had spoken to someone to organise the sale of said stuff, therefore giving him this list of charges, but without the massive sentence that things like this could garner. For example, possession alone is up to 15 years, so only doing 6 or 7 years suggests it was a relatively low quantity. The possession of paraphernalia, of course, suggests that he was using and selling at the same time. Although it doesn't mean it was a hard user. It could, of course, be anything from rolling papers to a good old bing bang bong-orama. Although, in my humble little opinion, it is giving red flags of possibly using harder stuff. Yeah, no worries, you just come around with 4 kids, it'll be fine. Oh, look at them, making a sign for mummy to wave at their new daddy. Some kids get a holiday and a new coat. Other kids get a sign and a new surname. Got to say, though, there's a few different varieties of kids there, though, isn't there? This one's the clone of the mum. These two kind of look the same. And there's the one that's making the sign. So, how many baby daddies do you think she's had? Well, we know that none of them are Michael, aka Mickey's kids, as he is, of course, husband number 4. Seems like she's giving old broke Brooke a run for her money.
3 husbands, 4 kids, possibly 4 baby daddies. I don't really know.
She doesn't know. Good job. To us, relationships are like sunbeam bread. Soft, warm, dependable. To her, they're like Kerrygold butter. Smooth, golden, and spread on anything. Hold on, I've got one more for you. To us, relationships are like science. They're all about your method, structure, and a decent apparatus. To her, they're more like maths. It's all X's, Y's, and a whole bunch of multiplication. I've got one more. To us, relationships are like chess. Patient, strategic, every move considered. To her, they're much more like baseball. Smash plenty of balls and hope one of them makes it home. I'll stop now. But the real question is, what do the kids make of this? Conveniently, they tell us in this next clip.
Serenity, can you come here for me?
What?
What were you doing? Oh, wow, that's a first.
Did you see it? Well, if you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about, it's this picture that the kids have drawn of the house. Now, analysis of this stuff is usually about culture and development, and not necessarily a sign of how the child feels. So, let's do a bit of armchair analysis, shall we? And see if there's anything we can pick up about the kids' lives. And of course, I must add here that this comes from established psychology, but it really doesn't mean that this is how it is. Wink. But when you hear this next bit, it does kind of make a lot of sense. Now, the windows are the eyes to the house. Two small, widely spaced windows are a symbol of emotional distance. The crossed frames suggest a desire for structure, as the windows in their actual house don't have that sort of crossed style. The flattish roof indicates insecurity or instability in the home environment, as the roof represents shelter and protection. The bright red colour can represent strong emotions or a sense of tension hanging over the house. It is speculated that a small window in the roof suggests limited access to escape routes, such as the kid's imagination. But hey, that's just an idea. The building is brown, but so is theirs, so that's probably accuracy, not symbolism. Although brown could be a desire for stability. Bit of a theme building there. Doors are all about boundaries and openness. A small off-centered door potentially gives feelings of imbalanced and limited openness. A closed door, which is minimal, no colour or detail, can also indicate emotional guardedness. A big tell actually is this part that she's covering up. The money. It's a large part of the image and is beneath the house, which can suggest that money is foundational or precarious, or that she's aware that the parents are talking about it. Children often externalise the themes circulating in their environment, sometimes literally placing them underneath the house. There's also no people in this drawing, which can reflect insecurity or a desire for privacy. So, given all of these elements, it kind of fits the profile of emotional guardedness. Which, if it was to be true, could come about when mummy brings home a new man and she doesn't want to invest her emotions, as they tend to get hurt when the new daddy leaves again. But as I say, a child's drawing is just a snapshot of how they experience the world, and not necessarily a psychological diagnosis. Anyways, the kids are busy making signs for their new daddy, and as they say, from the mouths of babes.
These are all the things that Daddy needs.
Yes.
Grayson's second one is job. Thank you.
Haha, good job, Grayson. Was number 4 a new woman? But as much as Kayleigh tries to hype the kids about their new daddy coming home, neither of those things are particularly true, and in real child fashion, they show their true feelings.
But he's out of prison. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
If she means daddy, as in mummy's new boyfriend, or daddy number 3 to some of the kids, and by home she means halfway house, then yeah, daddy's coming home. Hey Kayleigh, tell us about your marriages.
My first marriage, we were both very young, very dumb.
And ever since she's been full of excuses. Then there's marriage number 2.
My second marriage, I was in active addiction.
Fantastic. They both got a bit of a problem with substances. She goes on to say that her second marriage was to a man that her mother chose for her, and therefore it's her mother's fault that it didn't go very well. Yeah, well done, way to pass the blame to the left-hand side. So from the few minutes of her telling us about her relationships, we learned that she's impulsive, has an addictive personality, and doesn't take responsibility for her own decisions. And what of number 4, Mickey?
Well, my high school friends with benefits, and he's back in prison.
Notice she said back in prison? Well, if you want a man but you don't want him to be around very much, I guess guys like Mickey, the proud Italian, are ideal. So what does the next thing he says tell us about his plans for the future?
I've been in prison for like 6 years. I got 2 personal training certifications. I went and got my business degree.
So he's got certification for business and personal training. So if we join those 2 little dots up, could we assume that he's going to get out and start his own little business of training personally? Like that nice but dim Louis, perhaps? Or Derek, he was a personal trainer type and, that went well. So, shall we have a guess at how long it'll take for him to get a little bit too close to one of his clients? Or how long it'll take before he uses the phrase, she's just a client? Yeah. Or how about the question, which will come first? Back in prison or back in somebody else's trousers? That reminds me, did you hear about the ex-Lawd Lukan member Heather, who's trying to do personal training consultations for only 100 of your most fabulous dollars? Anyway, so what did she see in him in the first place?
He had big bushy eyebrows and braces, and I couldn't.
Sounds like a winner to me. So they're in love, actually, possibly, maybe, or rather they're in lure, love until released. But what do the kids think?
Every time we go to visit, he's always like, things are gonna get done either way, and I'm gonna yell.
Ah, the old do as I say or scream your face off parenting method. Good job. That's the way to integrate yourselves into your new children's lives. But Kayleigh puts that down to the fact that they rarely hear the word no.
Thank you for expressing your concerns. But you guys are really used to me being so
Easy, promiscuous,
so
lazy.
laid back.
All the boys said she was pretty laid back too, sort of habitually horizontal. But the kids aren't Mickey's only project. He's also taken the lead with helping Kayleigh reach her ideal weight. He's even set out a lovely diet plan, including no alcohol. All right, I'm out. But also no foo-foo coffee. What's foo-foo coffee? What's a foo-foo? Sounds like a code name for vagina. Ugh. Hoo-ha coffee. I don't even want to know. So basically the list is don't have anything fun. Then it's liquid cardboard for breakfast, followed by death by spinach for lunch. But that all seems like work to Kayleigh.
So I went to Mexico and I got a mommy makeover for $9,000.
Ah yes, he wants to develop a healthier lifestyle, get into some positive habits and actually work for the thing that you want. When you can do it all with a bit of vacuuming Dr. Now style. I'm not against it, it's your body, your choice.
What the are you doing?
But if you don't build that routine of body management, then you just have the same problems later on. She also got the boobs, good job. And
then I had them inject the rest of the fat that they could suck from the back and the sides into my ass.
Probably not the first time she said, stick it in me ass. It's really not solving the situation though, is it? You've just relocated the problem. It's like moving all the clutter out to the living room, sticking it in the attic and calling it interior design. A bit like this shot. Look at all that crap lying around. When they do the BBL, only half the fat survives and half gets reabsorbed into the body. It just quietly disappears like the man who said he'd call you next day. And hey, which person with 4 kids needs $9 grand, huh? When you could spunk it all up the wall for your new man because you're too lazy to put the work in. Which appears to be a bit of a theme with Kayleigh.
I definitely shield Mike from my finances, and hell no, I'm not honest about them because I figured when he got out, I would have it all figured out.
Ah, so she figuratively figured that she'd figure it out, but didn't actually figure out all the figures. Nice.
All I'm gonna hear is tears.
Now it's time to brace your senses as we're going on a trip to see the Love Island reject. And yes, she did actually apply to go on Love Island, merely weeks after young Justin chose to end his turn prematurely. Then it's time to book an appointment with Emily and Justin. And in our segment today, Emily arrives at Bella's ball-busting emporium, aka Bella's Hacienda, in Wells, Nevada. They never did reply to my email, by the way, for those of you who caught that in the last video. So, get ready to have that tone considerably lowered.
Oh my goodness! Look at this place! I'm loving the red.
Wow, yeah, great. It's really not that amazing though, is it? And I guess red is kind of a traditional choice for a place like this. You wouldn't want to touch it though, would you? And the smell, somewhere between salty fish and beef and onion stew, I imagine. So, let's meet the other courtesans, shall we?
I'm going to introduce you to a few of our ladies.
Oh, sorry, I thought I'd switch that thing off.
This over here is Nikki. And this is Bushy Meadows.
Hi.
Bushy Meadows, yes. Must have that kind of natural appeal. Like I said last time, kind of reminds me of a bunch of tarantulas trying to escape from behind a kite. Bushy Meadows, though, not the most appealing name, though, is it? I'd like to welcome you to Flappy McFlappington. And here's tonight's special, Harry Von Jockstrap. At least they're not all called Mercedes and Crystal, though. And whilst Justin is hurting from trying to process his girlfriend's occupation, Emily's busy compartmentalizing it.
I need to put Justin and I's issues to the side right now and really focus on this new location.
Yeah, I've got to focus on the cock right now. Sorry, Justin. And she's so excited about it too. She's looking around like it's a new flat and can't wait to get to work on the clients that come dragging their knuckles through the door.
I got into sex work when I was 3 months postpartum.
Blimey, most women are happy to put their feet up and take it easy after their first child. She'd much rather take it, as long as you're paying for it. So, we get a tour of the place.
VIP room. We do have the hot tub here.
I'm loving that mirror. That's giving true, brothel vibes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, sort of brothely. I love how you've really set that dial for interior decoration at tacky. Just like the carpets. But it's not all fun and giggles, There's an entrance exam. Yeah, who knew?
Then you're going to come over here, and we're going to open the curtains to do our DC. You know what a DC is?
Okay, class, raise your hand if you know what a DC is. No, it's not the District of Columbia or Democratic Center. It's not Detective Comics as in DC Comics, which kind of means Detective Comics. Good job. And it's not Da Capo as in the music annotation, which means from the head. Well, it's not far off.
There we go.
We examine for any lumps or bumps or anything that would prohibit activities.
Congratulations, Professor! You're now certified as a Master of Penal Studies. Good job. But Bella, the head honcho, that meaning kind of changes depending on where you put the emphasis, isn't it? Sort of head honcho or head honcho. You know, this show's really gone downhill this season, isn't it? It was all about penal colonies before, and, well, Bella the boss is very excited about it, though.
You're beautiful.
Oh, well, thank
and
you.
I've already posted you on our website, and I've already getting emails.
Yeah, you didn't reply to my email, though, did you? I wrote a lovely email from Gary, the financially conscious pervert. I put a whole 5 minutes effort into that, which oddly is also the average time that, anyway.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Yes. I can't wait to see if I get any deposits.
I know, right?
Deposits. Yeah. You could have chosen that word a little bit more carefully. I guess that's brothel for money. So after the intense exam and a quick tour, Emily gets one of those remarkably well-timed phone calls that often happen on this show. This is where Justin hears that he's not going to be seen by the parole board due to the fact that he got into some fights.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, like parole?
Yeah.
That is actually truly sad to hear, especially as we might know what happens to him next. You'd think the producers would be a little bit more respectful and at least mention what happened to him. But hey, you can't let a little bit of unaliving get in the way of a good story now, could you?
I'm going to see me until October next year.
Kidding me?
Let's move on, shall we? To Baltimore we go to see what Gates and Bentley are up to. Oh, look, so adorable. I love dogs. But while we're here, I guess we might as well see what Goddess, aka Gigi, and Damond, aka Mumu, are up to.
You're gonna go from a family of 3 to a family of 8.
Wow, now that's a bit of a jump. A family of 10, though actually, don't forget the 2 dogs. So, Gigi has 2 kids, and she had her first one when she was just 16, and the second one 4 years ago. Damond, who apparently is daddy of the century, although to his credit, he might actually be quite a good dad.
I'm so excited to get back home to my children for real. They think I'm in school right now. They don't know I'm actually incarcerated.
Now, I might just be buying what he's selling, but I do actually feel that. He may be the man who wants to have both cakes and eat them at the same time, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad father. It just means he's a terrible partner. And you do get quite a sense of family and respect from this situation.
Hi, Mr. Gerard.
Hey, boo.
Zo. Pop here.
They'll have a boo-boo and a moo-moo soon. Now I've watched Jared Sr. for about 2 minutes, and I'm already getting a good solid man vibe from him, which is quite typical for these Lalu unks. Demo Dick's dad, Midshay Shaq, aka Jerry, he was cool. Zamr's dad, Henry, he was cool, even though Zamr tried throwing him and his reputation under the bus, because he didn't do what she wanted him to do. And now we have Jared Sr. See, look at him with those dogs and see how they love him back. And just because of that, I'm going to hang my hat on the fact that he's a good man, purely on that basis.
How serious you with this guy?
Serious? We getting married?
When?
How come they subtitled that? Slow-mo was here earlier, gargling with marbles. No idea what the hell was going on. But then Jared says when, and they felt the need to make sure we knew what that single word was. Anyway, Gigi breaks the news that they plan to get married next year. And Jared has some reservations.
How many kids do we have?
4.
4.
And 4 baby mothers. That was the next question.
4 baby mothers.
Oh yes, it's red flag central in here. And because Mumu, who the hell calls himself Mumu? Hi, yes, my name's Woof Woof, and yeah, this is Meow Meow. But we all know that there's a little something or a little someone hiding in plain sight.
I can't wait to come home and see you.
Enter Bonita, the other woman, mother of one of his kids and maybe sister-wife-to-be to Gigi. Well, it's as far as he thinks anyway. Got to say though, I'd rather have this throuple than Julius's throuple. But of course he hasn't actually asked the girls if they want to do this. But what does he think that will inspire them to do what he wants them to do?
And we can sexually be with each other and possibly fall in love with each other just because of the love they got for me.
Ah, yeah, him. Yeah, that'll do it. He's so amazing that the girls just throw their agency to the dogs. and decide that they can't live without his majesty. And if that means sharing, then that's what they'll do.
I think Mumu is going to be good. I believe in him.
All right, come on now. He's not even very good at being a criminal. What makes them think that they'll agree to sacrificing their principles?
When somebody don't want to get on the phone and they don't want to talk to you, it's because they have something to hide.
Back now to Slow-Mo's place in Cincinnati, Ohio, for our last dose of Monique and Titus for today. And in this installment, Titus's cousin Jamal has popped over to help with some of Slow-Mo's favourite things, CCTV cameras. And watch this amazing greeting.
Good, how you doing?
I'll take that cousin.
Nice to meet you.
You want me to come over here and put these cameras up for him?
That hug was very stale, wasn't it? He turns his head well away, maybe out of respect for his cousin's wound. But it's the bit where she says it's good to meet you, and he says,
Nice to meet you.
You want me to come over here and put these cameras up for him?
Yeah, didn't even finish the sentence. Well, at least he didn't lie to her. Probably the first man not to lie to her on this show. And I do love what Slow-Mo's done with the place. It's got that, minimalistic vibe.
And I wasn't sure about staying.
Where you from?
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
She's been there for months and hasn't even added a little touch of personality to the place. Well, she's not really got a lot of personality to spare, though, has she? And what do you know? Another one of those perfectly timed phone calls pops up. That's uncanny, isn't it?
Give me a favor and step outside real quick for an
Yeah.
And as I'm sure as we've all guessed, the video cameras are just a small part of Jamal's visit. Oh, and check out this picture I found on Facebook. Like it. Jamal's also there to check Monique's temperature and report back to Titus.
Oh, be for real. Like, what's the energy like? What's the board?
I just popped in, so, I ain't really get to pick her brain like I want to for real, but...
Yeah, I think he's just being polite in front of the cameras. I want to know what he really thinks. But that's not the really troubling part. When Titus is talking about loyalty and being crossed, he says something that's just a little bit worrying.
So, you cross me, any enemies, and I'm gonna try to cut your head off.
Oh, good. Lovely, yes. See, that's usually rhetoric, but coming from a guy who's happy to wave a shotgun in your face, it's a touch more worrying. And naive Slow-Mo has no idea what she's got herself into.
What you was talking about?
Nothing really, just sort of chopping people's heads off for stuff, nothing important. But she's not happy now she's not in control of the situation, and her insecurity begins to fire, and her fears and naivety begin to show.
I don't know, I'm kind of scared going to a prison.
Yo, dude in jail, you gotta get over that.
And there we have it. She's absolutely petrified of the idea of being around dangerous people. Did she not realise she's in a relationship with dangerous people? Who did she think they were locking up these days? The vegan librarians who write strongly worded social media posts?
Like, they gotta search you and
That
being in an enclosed area with a bunch of criminals.
Yes, that's what they call a prison. That is where they put those bunches of criminals. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about having no experience and having never been around crime and bad people. And that she thinks the guys are just the booby-craving, kissy-kissy ones that she's had experience of. And I hate to break it to her, but she's planning on enclosing herself with a criminal pretty soon.
You in a closed area right now with, I just got out of jail too.
You can almost hear her filler Spanx from here. Last up of the day, and it's back to Phoenix, Arizona for a wee dram of Kayleigh and Michael, aka Mickey. We also get a delightful view of Kayleigh's housekeeping, and there's this winner sitting there playing with himself. Get off your arse and tidy! And because they can't be bothered to clean or cook, they decide to get Grandma in to do it for them.
What up, home biscuits?
You see what walked through the door there? Kayleigh's future. And she's got that standard bucket load of advice that everybody duly goes and ignores, because they don't think that she's made good choices with her life. Sure, okay, but doesn't that also suggest that she might be worth listening to at the same time? Also, did you notice? Both Mum and Kayleigh are wearing smartwatches, but they've had this with regular straps. Mum's got an elegant one, and Kayleigh went for something that pretends to be a little bit better than it is. That's interesting.
My mom used to have a gambling addiction. She would go to the casino. She spent $105,000 in the casino.
So addiction runs deep in this family. Quite how Kayleigh can judge one addiction to be better than the other, I don't really know. And she did too, bag a whole bunch of money on something which wasn't worth it. But, we won't mention that. How much did Kayleigh spend on her man? Well, I think she better trade in the soapbox that she's preaching from. Also, has her mum ever used a knife and fork before? She's doing a great job of making that look difficult. And isn't it funny when some people make a comment about other people and kind of miss out on the irony?
My mom is a good mom now, and that's still sometimes a work in progress.
I'll just let that hang in the air there for a minute. Then label it as the least self-aware thing that she's said so far. And as Kayleigh's family point out all the red flags and that spending $42,000 isn't maybe the best idea, and maybe to that we should add the $9,000 she spent on boobs and bums, we take a little trip to Mickey's mum's house.
You have 14,000 and change.
Yes, Mickey's been stashing away the cash. And whilst Kayleigh was spending it like it's going out of fashion, Mickey was thinking ahead and decided to put it aside. Only she's, spending it on him. So, if he didn't ask for it, then maybe she wouldn't have spent the £42,000 that he's complaining about her spending. So yeah, that's another genius part of this story. It's like hoarding all your M&Ms because you think your wife's about to eat them all. So you have a bunch of them and then blame her when they're all gone. Which is kind of crazy because, they're your shared M&Ms. Unless, of course, he's got no intention of sharing.
Kayleigh has a spending problem, constantly putting herself in debt and jeopardy.
Ooh, so what's going to happen in our next episode? Will Gigi accept Damond's opportunity of a lifetime? Will Emily discover empathy? And will Slow-Mo build up the courage to go visit her man? Well, stay tuned to the Lawd Lukan channel to find out. So then, my beautiful viewer, what did we learn today? Well, we learned that everyone in this episode is reaching for something. Love, validation, maybe a fresh start, or just a version of themselves that they can live with. Reaching is one thing, but holding on is quite another. When everyone is trying to outrun their past, their choices, or the truth they don't want to face, they miss the thing about running. And that is that you always meet yourself at the finish line. Thank you for watching. It's been an absolute honour to have you along for the start of our new adventure. And I do hope you'll be back to join me very soon. If you like what I do, then please do like, subscribe, or check out one of these little beauties. So until we meet again, stay beautiful, love to my three, and you take care of yourself.
Please subscribe now for our play. Thank you.